Hello, parents, educators, and nerdy D&D fans. You have found our new home for Area of Effect, a talk show where we discuss how tabletop role-playing games benefit the whole family. We're currently in process of shifting all our old but golden episodes over to this new channel by posting a new episode every weekday until we catch back up to our new episodes. We would love your help getting this new channel up and running with a follow, share, or review. And thanks for joining us on our quest to bring more adventurers to the table.
Here's your report.
Oh, thanks, Jane. I wish I could hire someone just like you.
Try LinkedIn Hiring Pro. It's more than a job board. It's like the recruiter you always wished you had. Hiring Pro uses real-time insights to match your role to LinkedIn's unique network of professionals and delivers a short list of best fit candidates. You'll spend less time sorting applicants and more time talking to the right people.
Let's do it. You're irreplaceable, Jane, but another you would be great.
Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
Well, welcome to another exciting interview with Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters. We are a 5th edition actual play D&D podcast. I am Curt, Daddy the Dungeon Master, and to my left we have, to my right we have
Sam, who plays Syrup, our favorite. My brain isn't working. Our favorite princess fairy bard, and across is to my left we have Bertie, who plays Willow Carter, the rogue half elf.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm Allison, one half of the founders of the Kids Table D&D. Yay! Welcome to Area of Effect, a podcast by the Kids Table, where we discuss how tabletop RPGs benefit kids and answer your questions about playing TTRPGs with the kids at your own table. All right, so today with us, we have 3 of the members of Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters. If you don't know, Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters is an actual play podcast that started 7 whopping years ago, and there are 80 episodes running with 2 dads and 3 daughters at the table. We have 1 dad and 2 daughters here with us today due to some illness. This podcast started 7 years ago when the girls were just 8 years old, I believe. And The girls learned to play 5e as they went, I understand. So it's a great podcast for you and your family to learn alongside them, especially if you start from the beginning when they were just learning. My first question, Curt, you started this podcast in 2017 when, to my knowledge, no one was doing this with kids. I mean, even Critical Role only started in 2015. So you were pretty close off the starting line there. What gave you the inspiration to, first of all, start playing with your young daughters, but also to film it and share it with the world?
For very selfish reasons. I just wanted to play more Dungeons and Dragons, honestly.
How rude.
So the timing was pretty perfect with everything that was happening in Dungeons and Dragons and in the podcasting space at the time, because I'd never done any podcasting before this. But I just discovered 5th editions, so that it was just starting to become like really wildly popular at that time. And I had a regular table that I had played with a different tabletop RPG game with some friends of mine that had been going on for almost 20 years at that point. And I really wanted to try the new 5th edition. So it was kind of part of my plan to talk them into trying to transition over, but I wasn't really ready to make that argument with them yet or make that pitch until I've actually tried it out. And so I started trying it out, and I liked what I saw, but I wanted to play it a little bit more. And I'm like, hey, I wonder if 8-year-olds could handle this. And that's one of the things that I love about the kids table is, like, because you guys are at what I would consider the very beginning of playing with your kids, even though you've been doing it for a while now, but just we've been doing it for so long, that's why I consider it the beginning. And I love hearing about some of the similarities and some of the things that you've been running into when playing with kids at the table. Like for example, you had mentioned before, or at least I had heard on your show, that you had tried out simplified or modified versions of the game with the really young ones, just to see if it's something that they could grasp. And that was something that I had done with them. They latched onto it right away. What did you call
It
the
was
game?
called the story game.
Oh, yeah.
And we have pictures of, I think we were like 7 or
I feel like it was
6.
It might have been
Yeah.
7 when we tried that out. Yeah.
Or 6.
Yeah, I thought we were like 6 or 7, and we were sitting around this kitchen table, and Dad, you just were pulling stuff out of your like
But
your I don't know if I could say butt. Pulling stuff out of your butt as you're like, okay, you encounter a ogre. What do you do? And it was us like coming up with our ideas on how we would interact with it, and we immediately loved it, and we just were like, can we play the story game? I want to play the story game. And so I think that's what
so that kind of sealed the deal for me. It's like they enjoyed it so much, and they did so well with the concept of it. They just got it, and they did so well with it. That was kind of like the last straw. Was like, you know what, I'm going to try and throw D&D 5th edition at them. I want to try and see if we can handle the full set of rules.
You went from 0 to 60.
Right.
Okay.
We did. Yeah. So and they, you know what, they did fine with it at level 1 because the concepts are basically the same. It was just they just didn't know the rules. Well, and frankly, I was just learning them for the first time as well. So it was like, well, what do I do? Well, roll a d20. The higher the number, the better. And away you go.
See, a deal breaker for me, I remember I was so set on the idea of YouTube because, oh my God, Sam and I, we would watch YouTube like crazy. We would do fake vlogs. So I got really excited. I was like, Dad, you better put this on YouTube.
That's right. That's how I got them on board. They had no interest in doing a podcast.
I want to be famous.
As long as it was on
That's
YouTube.
amazing.
Yeah, that's the only reason that they wanted to do it. So
not
it's like,
D&D.
okay, I'll do a podcast and I'll record the video and throw it on YouTube. That's really what gets you to play with it. To your comments before, there wasn't anything else that was really happening at the time. It's like you had the big players of like Critical Role, you had the Adventure Zone that was out there, but there wasn't anyone that was doing it with kids. But frankly, I wasn't really looking for anything with kids per se. But the one thing that I did think that was missing in the marketplace, I guess, I don't know. It's hard for me to not think about these in business terms because of the work that I do. Is that it just seemed like it was a bunch of adults that would get together and drink and swear and just be idiots for 2.5 hours. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because that's what we do at my adult table.
No, I feel like that's what we do, but like for PG, we have like sodas instead, and we say "but" instead of the not good word. Yeah.
But my point is that it's not very interesting to listen to after a certain amount of time. It gets rather old. So I wanted to learn D&D. I wanted to play with my girls in D&D, and I wanted to do a podcast that I thought could be made with kids, be entertaining for kids, but not necessarily made for kids, if that makes sense. I felt like that we could do a story and we could do a podcast that would appeal to everyone, but still keep it in the PG realm. Not that that's the most important thing, but it's with my kids, and they just felt like, hey, if we're going to be doing it, we got to keep it PG. Otherwise, I'm a terrible parent.
Well, I actually think it's really important because, I mean, I do watch those shows myself that are not PG rated, but for families who have kids and they want to get into this hobby together, you've got to have something to kind of spark the imagination or get them into the idea. And so it needs to be something that's appropriate for even for young kids to listen to kind of get them hooked.
Yeah. Well, the thing I find really funny is, so for them, they love the concept of playing an adult or an adventurer that they viewed as an adult. They love the concept of playing someone that's older than they are, and especially when they were 8 years old. Mm-hmm. It did get a little controversial in the first campaign because for some reason they were obsessed with whiskey.
Not me.
I was
not one over there.
I wanted it.
So Sam she's got in her head, this is just what adults do. And so I think that's the reason why you latched onto that concept so much.
Part of it was like when little kids are told, no, you can't drink this, they go, oh, well, I want that. And so when like you would sometimes like on the weekend have just a glass, I'd be like, oh, can I try that at 7 years old? And you'd go, no. I'd go, well, if I can't have it in real life, I want it in this imaginary game where I can be 16, which at the time was very old.
Yeah.
That's what you thought at 16 you'd be able to drink whiskey?
No, I was old and I could do what I want.
One of our favorite quotes from our show is one of our players who was 6 at the time wanted to play a character who was 11, who he described as almost a grown-up. So we just love that. We put it on a t-shirt because it was so great. So I have this kind of follow-up question for all of you guys, really, because I've gotten this question a lot from parent DMs. Like, how do you know where to draw the line with kids according to their age when it comes to violence or other PG-13 type of content? And for you, since you've done this over 7 years, the appropriate level has kind of increased and expanded as they've gotten older. So how has this changed? How have you navigated this?
Oh boy. So yeah, we definitely had some PG-13 moments in the show. Gosh, how did I navigate that?
There's a reason we have a whistle.
Yeah, there was a couple of swear words that were in there that I had to bleep out. But
accidental.
But as far as the violence and the content, because that was actually one thing. I'm not sure if I told either of you about this, but some reviews that we've gotten from some parents, they're like, we love this show, but we caution some parents because there are some scenes or descriptions of violence that are in the show.
Well, and one of those moments, I was getting into my.
Oh no, that didn't even come up yet. It's like this
really?
was something way before that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
you're talking about the 7 dwarfs.
Yeah.
An infamous incident, I see.
Okay. So I was like 12 or 13.
So like 2 years ago.
And I was just kind of getting into my love of reading, which was fantasy books. And like in fantasy books, they can be a bit more descriptive about violence or in that stuff. So I just was like projecting, not projecting. I'm using the wrong words. But just like, I don't know, things
you were influenced by it.
I was influenced, sure. And I forgot that it's supposed to be a really PG, kids-friendly podcast, and some people
So the DM had to step in and stop it in game, or after the fact, you kind of talked about it.
It was a little bit of both.
Yeah. I regret that.
It wasn't anything that was so terrible that we cut out of the show, but there was a moment in the game where we sort of like busted out laughing uncomfortably. Like, this took a dark turn. Can we just acknowledge this for a moment? It's like, this is not good. We don't condone this for anyone, type of thing.
Yeah, and it's based on the 7 dwarfs, where children watch Snow White.
Well, that was just a bizarre coincidence. It wasn't based on that.
Like, that doesn't help.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the Grimm's fairy tales can be very creepy and very horror filled, and some kids like that and do well with that and have fun with it and know that is different from reality, right? But other kids, it feels very real to them, and it's not in their safe space at all.
Yeah, that was a learning curve for me. I don't do that.
So back to your question, how did I navigate that? I'm realizing now that what I use as the barometer is the level of violence or other topics in the movies and television shows that we would let them watch at the time. So that's one of the reasons why I keep coming back to the PG or the PG-13 rating, because that's really what I was using as my barometer. But I do have to say, in retrospect, it's like I was trying to pick the level of the movies and TV shows we let them watch at the time. That does not mean that they were not exposed to other things without us knowing about it.
Hey, unless it involved Minecraft battles, you're fine.
Okay.
Look at any of those.
We watched a lot of Minecraft YouTube.
Oh yeah, I mean, who didn't?
Exactly.
All right, so So now, like, another question about how long you've been playing this podcast, but more directed toward the daughters. Like, you guys played this game as elementary schoolers, middle schoolers, and now high schoolers. Like, a lot changes about who you are and what you care about during that time, yet you've like stuck it out. Like, what made this you keep coming back to this game as your identity and kind of your role in the world was changing through all those important life stages?
Well, so I've looked back at a few of our past episodes. I've never finished an episode. It's different because it's like I've lived through it, even though you've edited hours of it.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it documents us growing up as well. So it's almost, I do love D&D, but a lot of it is also just seeing me grow up, because I see my little 8-year-old self, and I see how I dressed, how I talk, and it's
For the first
really
couple of months, I
nice.
had to put them in booster seats to reach the microphones.
Oh.
That's how small they were.
So what would you girls say to other kids who want to start doing this, who maybe haven't, whether they're little kids or whether they're your age or somewhere in the middle?
I would just say it doesn't have to be this big challenging like thing. It's just do it to have fun and to go after something that seems like something you'd enjoy. It's not this big crazy you have to know all the rules thing. You can learn it step by step.
That's what I still do every single time we play. But also, I feel like there's a lot of negativity towards Dungeons and Dragons as well. Like, people really think of it as a nerdy type of game, I mean, of course, we're nerds, but they bring that as a negative way. So I feel like that draws people back. But I just say embrace it because it's so fun. And
I would argue it's mainstream now. There's
still so much negativity.
As far as like nerdoms were concerned, like
Nerdoms?
yes. Dungeons and Dragons was kind of like the last bastion. Like if you went into that, you were a super nerd. But we got a summer blockbuster movie, for crying out loud, for Dungeons and Dragons. We saw a play on Broadway for Dungeons and Dragons.
See, what I'm trying to get at is, like, sometimes when people find out that I play D&D, there's a few negative feedbacks, but it's like I'm playing with my family. I'm having fun. So it's just, you create these special memories. So it's like, no matter what, if there's the tiniest bit of negativity, just go ahead and
Really
have fun.
Interesting that there's still kind of that stigma that you're
There,
hear about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome that you've stuck with it and defended it even when you know that it's meaningful to you personally. How do you guys think that your game in general, not the like PG-13ness, but the game in general has morphed over the years? Like, has it become more role playing? Has there been more banter at the table? Like, what's different about the table now?
Like, one thing I can tell you that has stayed the same, which I know is held true for your table as well, as the obsession with pets, like the animals that are in the campaigns. It's just like every kid does that. It's crazy.
I want my cat.
Yeah, even Alice, who plays Rosalie, she was 17 at the time we started. She started with a duck familiar, and then she collected a fox, and then she was like trying to collect other pets along the way. And our DM Ryan was just like, no more. It's too
I
much
fought
to deal
so
with.
hard for a pet bear, and did I get a pet bear? No.
Oh,
The dice just didn't go your way.
You got
I think
you got a talking chicken
I
and
had
a pony that doesn't die.
oh, that's pretty cool.
we couldn't stand the idea of our pets dying, so our dad was like, you know what, they're invincible, they'll never die.
We just made a rule that pets don't die in Dungeons and Dragons.
I love that, because let me tell you, my first like long running campaign that I ever played personally, it was a play by post, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I was a ranger. I was super squishy. I had this wolf with this whole backstory. We fought a dragon like at level 2 or something, and I send the wolf in to go attack because I have no idea. And of course, she gets like one shot killed. And I was like, as an adult woman, was like so shocked I could not speak, and so like upset by it. Luckily, the DM saw it, and he was like, "Do you want to go back around and not send the wolf in?" And I was like, "Yes, please." But then I added into the story this like emotional moment when I sent the wolf away, like go home, kind of a moment because I just knew that it was too dangerous for her. But so I love that you have that the animals never die. That's a great rule, especially with kids.
Yeah, so that still doesn't answer your question. So that's one thing that's a constant. What has changed like since the very beginning? Like
Words. We have some better words. Not the naughty words. I mean
vocabulary.
Your vocabulary. like we read more of a dictionary.
We have better words.
We have better words. Put that on a t-shirt. Put my face on it.
Like more descriptions.
Yes.
You're more descriptive
I know bigger
about your
words. I don't just I know more.
I guess for me, something that's changed is my mindset when playing. Because when I was younger, it was, I can do what I want. Okay, we'll defeat this guy. But I was more just kind of doing my own thing. Where now I try to work towards a goal with the party and that we all try to work together, and it's less about the fun little moments and more about like my character's motivations.
Oh, see, I'm
Ooh.
still
You're still chaotic.
I'm still chaotic.
You're still a murder hobo.
I am a murder hobo. I'll take that with pride.
That's amazing. Have you two ever stepped into the DM seat and switched roles and given your dad his medicine?
I have DM'd. So how old was I when it was this?
9 or 10.
9. There's 2 episodes on our podcast, and it's just a little like special thing that we did for
It was Women in Tabletop Gaming Month.
Yeah.
I think.
And 9-year-old me got to sit in the DM's chair, which I was very happy about. And I DM'd 2 sessions, and I don't really remember how those went.
They went great. They were fantastic.
I know, I'm great. But then I've DM'd for like Father's Day stuff, like one shots, and then I've also
Yeah, that was a request I had one Father's Day, is that I wanted one of them to DM a one-shot adventure for me.
And then I've DM'd for my friends a bunch. I'm the only one willing to do it, so.
Which I have to say, I get so excited to hear that they go off and do it on their own, but it breaks my heart a little bit because I don't get to do it with them.
Aw, leaving the nest for just a little and then coming back.
Well, see, Sam and I's cousin is wanting to get into D&D, so therefore could get more opportunities.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, he's been bugging us about D&D constantly. He's like, so want to help me create a character? He's just doing all this stuff, so that's always so another.
Well, Allison,
experience.
I'm curious with you and in your show, was it always going to be the set kids that you have in your cast, or were there other kids that you were thinking about bringing or including it, or or even outside of that, once folks found out that you were doing this, have you had other people like, hey, can we join? Can we play in your game?
Yeah, actually. So Ryan, my friend who's the DM, and I wanted to start this because we got really into D&D and we saw that there wasn't really any kids playing. We didn't find your show, unfortunately, at the time.
We don't have a big marketing budget.
and we wanted content that we felt comfortable playing with our kids around and stuff anyway. So we were like, let's just do this. We had no idea what it was going to become. We were like, let's record it just on the off chance we want to do something with it. So it was Ryan and his son, Beckett, who was 6 at the time. And then our other friend, Raynell, and her daughter, Chloe, who was 6 at the time. And then I was a mentor for teenagers. So one of my students that I was mentoring, Alice, was 17. She came on the show too. So we kind of each, the 3 adults, kind of each had a kid. My kids were too young at the time to play. So we played that. But then actually we sat on that footage for 2 years. That game is from 2 years ago, even though we just finished kind of pushing it out in episode format. And so now we're starting to film season 2, and it's going to have a lot of the same faces, but it's also going to have some new faces. And in the meantime, my family has moved across the country from California to Florida. So we're no longer there able to play every week. So I'm not going to be able to be in it as a cast regular for season 2. So the other piece that we're doing, though, is as more people we know are finding out we're doing this, yes, they are asking us if they can do it. And more people are interested in it as it's become more mainstream and more in the media and more positive light. I have so many people like asking me to run games for them. It would just be impossible to do it. But we are starting next week, actually, which by the time this podcast comes out, it might have already come out. But we're starting a series for D&D Adventure Club, which I don't know if you know them, but they're like a subscription-based kid campaign booklet that you can, I said that in a really bad way. They write campaign scenarios that you can subscribe to, and you get a booklet once a month and you can play with kids. And so they're having a lot of people who want to play but have never played or seen it played before, and they're kind of intimidated by it. So they've been asking for playtest videos. So we're doing a playtest with my daughter, who's now 6, and a bunch of her friends between the ages of 6 and 13 around the table. And this is kind of like our East Coast group. So we're thinking of it kind of as like Critical Role and EXU. It's kind of just this different storyline, but it's all part of the same like overarching umbrella.
Sure. Yeah. And if you got more people to do it, why not? It's but so before I forget, so girls, because we're going to be putting this on our podcast as well, one thing I wanted to call out, one of the things I really like about the format of the kids table is that you all had broken it up into 15-minute chunks. Their episodes are only 15 minutes long. So it makes it really, really easy to digest and keep kids' attention in listening to it. So there's one thing I really liked, and it actually made it really easy to actually just devour all of the content that you had out there if it's only in 15-minute chunks.
All right. So I'm wondering, how have you guys seen yourselves, including Dad, grow and benefit from playing D&D together? Maybe it might be different answers if you like reflect back on in the beginning and at the end, but like, how has it benefited you?
Well, we have just like a lot more inside jokes and like memories we can recall. Like, remember when Deb jumped down and got a natural 20, and like just other stuff like that, where we can all just like share that experience, which makes it just more enjoyable that you have someone to talk to with it, or we all shared a common experience.
Yeah, so I've also felt that I've gotten closer with my father because of D&D. Oh, you're okay.
That's so sweet.
So you touched on this earlier. It's one of the things that's really been nice about this, and in recording the video of it, well, just the audio alone, just hearing how their voices have changed over the last 7 years is just a trip. Going back and hearing what they sounded like in the first year that we were doing this, but then just going back and seeing the video, and it's like we've got 7 years of like 160 hours plus of video of them, and it's like with our regular home videos, it's like we don't have that much content or recordings of them, so it's like that's just turning out to be such a pleasant surprise and just a gift to have that content of all of us spending time together. Yeah. And when you get older, you'll be able to look back on this and know that you did enjoy my company for a period of time in your life.
Yeah, that won't be for a while. Okay.
Maybe they'll come home from college break or something and still want to play.
Well, now we're getting to the point where I'm starting to think about, as they are looking at graduating from high school and college.
That's so scary.
Right?
Oh my
yeah, you're telling me. How might this actually be able to play into that and benefit that? So like if I can start getting them incorporated into the technical aspects of this, of the social media or the more of the creative process, like is this something that we can actually start putting down on like their transcripts or applications to college?
Wow, you are thinking about this.
I'm always thinking about this stuff.
Went over my head.
I think Bertie's gonna really achieve her dream of becoming a YouTube star.
Oh yeah, guys.
That's not a profession. It's not a profession.
Hey, chat.
I'm gonna right after this. I'm gonna create my own YouTube channel. It's called Bertie's Life, and I'm gonna show that I'm a YouTuber.
Okay.
Proving
I can't wait to subscribe to Bertie's Life. Cool. All right. So my last questions, unless y'all have something else you want to share, is like for families out here that want to do this, like what would be like your one piece of advice, either for the parents or the kids?
One thing I would say for just I guess the parents is that to just have patience that like even if you're getting frustrated and they're not really going with what you had planned, they're having fun. They're having a ball. They're playing a make-believe story with their parents. Like what could be more fun than that?
I love that.
So yeah, just to have fun. It's like have that be the goal. Like go into it with like the goal to have fun. For anyone that's thinking about trying to record it or trying to do videos of it, like what you have done, what we have done, that does add an extra dimension. It does add extra work and stress on top of it. But even with that, I've said from the very beginning, as soon as the girls stop having fun with this, then we're no longer going to be doing this because it's not worth it if you're not having fun with this. But just be clear on what it is you're trying to accomplish with the goals that you have for it. But fun should be the primary thing if you're playing tabletop RPGs with your kids.
So moral of the story is to have fun, but also just like how you've I don't know mentioned about like starting off with just non D&D, just the little game, just starting off like that. I feel like can really just help blossom the love of D&D. So,
Dip your toes in.
Yeah, dip your toes in. Don't splash, even though that's hilarious when that happens, aka our mom.
Also, one question for you. I'm curious as to like if you've noticed a difference when playing with really young kids between playing with girls versus boys when they're at a much younger age. Because I'm biased on that, but I was surprised at how well my girls had latched onto the idea and just got it right. But we've had some younger boy players that have been a little more challenging to to play with. I'm just curious, like what has your experience been?
Are you maybe talking about like the energy level and focus?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I think, it really depends on the kid. I do think that young boys as a whole are more squirrely, like in general. But I have had some young boys that really can just sit in that chair and focus and like dial in. And then I have my younger daughter, 4 years old, who is worse than the little boys as far as attention span.
Sure.
She can't pay attention. She's jumping around. She's building stuff with whatever I have on the table. She's under the table, but she's sort of listening. So I think, as a whole, I think the maybe girls are ready younger to have a little bit more focus, but there's definitely the outliers in both genders. Well, where can the Kids Table listeners find Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters? And if there's anything else you want to plug for yourselves?
Well, you can.
Anyone out there who is remotely interested in Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters can find us on Podbean, can find us on YouTube. I'm double checking. Am I missing things? Spotify.
Yeah, we're on Spotify.
Apple
Podcast.
Apple Podcast.
Stitcher, pretty much everywhere you can find podcasts. We're on there. But
YouTube.
Yeah.
I said that.
Oh, never mind.
We've got a YouTube channel, but our website,
But-
DungeonsDragonsDaughters.com.
But go to YouTube if you can to make Bertie a YouTube star.
Guys, go in the comments. Or go on socials anywhere. Just say that I'm famous, okay? Like hype me up.
So, and our at Daughter Dungeon has been our handle on Twitter, which is now X, Facebook, Instagram. I've been lagging and very terrible at the social media piece of it.
Okay, so for all the new fans that you're going to get who are listening right now to Area of Effect, where do you recommend they start? Should they start in the beginning when the girls were 8, or should they start in like the latest season? What would you say?
Probably the very beginning is where I would recommend, especially if they are new to Dungeons and Dragons.
Or they have really little kids who could like see themselves in the 8-year-olds trying to play.
Yeah, because some of the feedback that I've gotten from folks that in past reviews, that is the one thing that really stands out for our show is just the amount of content that we have. So there's like other shows that are available that are out there, but apparently it's like kids, they get fixated on stuff, and when they find something that they really like, they just devour everything that they can find on it. And when they go out to our show and they see that we've got 80 plus episodes at this point, it's just like parents are just thrilled that their kids have so much time to listen to it on. In fact, it's like it feels like half of our downloads are repeat downloads from kids just listening to the show over and over and over again.
That's awesome.
So are you going to do a plug for you? Because this is we're putting this on our feed.
I sure am. Thanks for the lead-in. So for the Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters fans, the kids table exists to bring more kids to the D&D table. We have got a kid-centered actual play campaign that you can watch on YouTube or listen to on pretty much all the podcast platforms. We also have this podcast series, Area of Effect, where we discuss how TTRPGs benefit kids and bring on wonderful guests such as yourselves. And the third thing we do is we share tips and resources for playing D&D with kids, which is probably best to find on Instagram, but you can also get it on YouTube if you go to our link in our bio. So yeah, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts at The Kids Table D&D.
Thanks for listening to Area of Effect. Be a part of the ongoing conversation. Follow us on Instagram at The Kids Table D&D, where you can DM us questions that might appear on a future show. And check out The Kids Table D&D on YouTube to see how we include kids and teens at the table. Brought to you by The Kids Table, because when kids are at the table, everyone wins.